The best banks category is showing one of the clearest patterns in AI discovery. AI systems are compressing consumer choice into a small shortlist, and the brands that get mentioned most are not always the brands being recommended most strongly. In the June 2026 public benchmark, recommendation power concentrates around 2 leaders, while several of the largest traditional banks show a major gap between awareness and shortlist eligibility. Hey, I'm Mark Huntley, a growth strategist and AI discovery analyst. At LLM Authority Index, we study how AI systems shape commercial discovery, especially in high-intent categories where recommendation positioning can directly influence revenue. The headline is simple. Capital One leads the best banks benchmark with a monthly AI authority value of about $1.45 million, and the highest rank 1 rate in the category at 14.9%. Ally Bank follows closely at about $1.37 million. With the strongest net sentiment score in the category, roughly 0.77, and 0 negative mentions across the public data set. Together, these two banks capture nearly 10% of the total modeled monthly AI opportunity value, even though the benchmark includes 10 measured brands. That tells us AI recommendations are already concentrated. The more important lesson is the difference between presence and recommendation position. Bank of America is the most mentioned brand in the benchmark, appearing in 68.6% of observations, but it converts only 17.8% of those appearances into valid recommendations. Wells Fargo appears in 60.8% of observations, yet its valid recommendation coverage is 13.9%, and it carries the highest negative visibility rate in the category. Chase appears in 45% of observations, but its valid recommendation coverage is only 8.7%. For leadership teams, that is the warning signal. A brand can be widely recognized by AI systems and still fail to advance when a consumer asks, which bank should I choose? The benchmark separates the category into 3 high-intent prompt clusters. The first is best bank and account discovery. These are early consideration questions like, what is the best bank? Capital One leads this cluster, followed by Ally Bank and Discover Bank. The second is bank comparison and alternatives. These are evaluation stage prompts where the consumer is actively comparing options. Ally Bank leads here, followed closely by Capital One. The third is pricing, fees, and rates research. This is the decision stage cluster, and it carries the highest total monthly AI opportunity in the public benchmark. Ally Bank leads again with Capital One close behind. This matters because AI discovery is not one generic visibility score. Different prompts represent different stages of the buying journey. The analysis points to citation architecture as the structural advantage. Capital One and Ally Bank appear to give AI systems cleaner evidence to retrieve, compare, and cite. That includes official product content, account details, rate information, comparison coverage, review presence, and positive framing across public sources. AI systems need public evidence that supports a confident recommendation. Broad brand awareness helps a model recognize a bank, but recommendation strength comes from the evidence layer around specific buyer questions. This is why traditional branch-heavy banks can show high AI visibility while losing recommendation control. They appear in news coverage, directory content, general financial education, and broad web references. Those sources can create recognition without creating a strong shortlist signal. One pattern we repeatedly see at LLM Authority Index is that brands can look visible while still losing the buying moments that matter most. For banks, the strategic work is larger than publishing more content. Teams need to understand which prompt clusters they win, where they rank when recommended, which sources AI systems are using, and where sentiment or citation gaps are weakening the answer. The best banks category shows that recommendation ranking is becoming a board-level visibility issue. If an AI system consistently places a competitor above you in decision stage prompts, that is a commercial problem, even if your brand is still being mentioned. The leadership takeaway is straightforward. AI discovery rewards brands that are easy to trust, easy to compare, and easy to recommend from public evidence. In this benchmark, Capital One and Ally Bank have built stronger recommendation architecture than many larger, more visible incumbents. That advantage shows up in rank 1 rates, sentiment, and shortlist position. For any team competing in the best banks category, the priority is recommendation control, not vanity visibility. If you want to understand how AI is actually positioning your company in buyer conversations, that's exactly what we analyze at LLM Authority Index.